Okay.
Good luck against
Welcome
Darren
to the Ed and Rec Committee
Thank
meeting for October 18th. RTM Ed and Rec Committee meeting, October 18th, starting at 8:46 p.m. Can the secretary take the roll?
Okay. Hang on a sec, guys. I was having some technical difficulties here. Give me 1 second. Well, let's start with the chair.
I am here, Mark McDermott.
Name, please. Yes.
You know, I really miss having meetings in person because you don't have technical difficulties.
No, and we would have known that Jen Kennelly snuck on.
Well, I am trying to connect to my minutes that I dutifully filled out and was ready to populate, and I cannot get them back.
Okay, so, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Peter Tallman.
And notes. Yep. Here.
Peter Tallman.
Here.
Alex Durrell.
Here.
Chrissy Kelly.
Here.
Ken Asarita.
Here.
Marcy Spolier. Not here. Alice Kelly. Not here. Liz Esma.
Here.
Okay. So we have, 6?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're good. All right.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Well, you know, you're the newbie to the group, so you don't know everybody on the squad. So, okay, I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes of our meeting last month. Or a motion to approve.
Yes.
I'll
approve, Alex. Yeah.
Alex, seconded by.
I'll second, Liz.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that carries 6-0. Now let's get to our voting items, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just go through here. So our first item to vote on is the item number 7, which is the Roger Ludlow Middle School roof replacement project. I don't want to read the whole thing if that's okay with you guys.
It's fine.
Well, waive the reading.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, and that first one is to set up the item number 7 is to set up the building committee, right? So.
And to approve the money.
Well, that's number 8 is the money.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we can take them as one, if that's all right. I'll make a motion to take 7 and 8 as one.
Sure.
Yep.
Agree.
Agree. Go ahead.
Okay, so who made who's number 1? Peter, and seconded by?
Chrissy Kelly will second it.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that passes 6-0. So I guess let's really discuss the money then. Item number 8, the $2.9 million. Does anybody have? Does anybody have any comments on that or any further discussion?
Seems like a lot of money, but we need the roof. So, yeah.
This is Ken Astorita. The only comment I would have to make is I'm a parishioner at St. Thomas, and I know we just put a roof on over there, and I think the cost to do that was something like $1.9 million. So the number actually, believe it or not, seemed reasonable.
Yeah. So $150,000 a year for a roof, right? 20 years, $3 million. But yeah, got to do it.
That's Mark McTurnan. It's a sore subject to me since I just put on a roof. So, but yeah, I mean,
it was four figures, Mark. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No,
it wasn't 2.9.
It's painful enough.
Yes,
right.
And the chimney needed to be replaced as well, so that just added to the cost. But
wonderful.
Yeah. So
your daughter didn't need graduate school. Come on.
I mean, I would say Ken's probably right. I mean, I think probably Ludlow Middle School, is a lot bigger than St. Thomas, right?
Right.
So, you're probably in that neighborhood.
Yeah, no, I'm not even questioning the bid or anything like that. It's just you think about it, geez, what we could do with $3 million that we could enjoy or something. But
yeah, no,
okay.
I mean, what do we do? Vote no? And what the hell happens if we vote no? I mean, come on, what are they going to do? No roof?
It's an asset that you can't, let deteriorate, right?
Yeah.
And like Jill said, mold remediation is probably a heck of a lot more expensive than a roof.
But I keep thinking it's a new school. I guess it's not.
You do, but it's not really, right? It's new.
Right.
No, 20 years now, I know.
We just put that there 20 years ago.
I know. It should have been a pool. It should have been a pool.
I think we got a grand slam going.
Be a pool if we don't do it. I would say because my mom lives in Stanford,
Slam, Alex.
I spent a lot of time down here. Mold remediation has been huge, and I don't know how long it takes, but I was actually surprised that this has been leaking for a while. So, yeah, I mean, it seems a lot, though, in terms of, 20-year useful life and failure to the point of leaking. Seemed pretty extreme, but, I don't pretend to know enough about those types of roofs.
Right.
Yeah, this is Ken. I kind of thought that too. And again, I'm not a roofing expert, so I really have no idea. But didn't the useful lives of these kind of things usually run about 30 years, or am I just imagining that, or is that
know.
A comment for in the good old days? That's what they used to do.
If something is warranted, in this case, it was 15 years. This roof, that doesn't mean it's going to start failing in 15 years. They're not going to warranty it. You got to figure you're going to get 20, maybe 25 out of it, but they'll warranty it for 15. But like I said, this is pushing 20 years, and we are getting leaks. So, you can only patch so much. And they were expecting it. It was in the waterfall. They just moved it up a little bit. So that makes sense to do. So that's fine by me.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that, Peter. It's I mean, the new roof will have a 20-year warranty because the materials are better, but
hopefully we'll get 25.
And they're not like they're not like a household roof in general. They're flat roofs, so water sits on them probably a lot more than they do on your roof at home. So it's
there's nothing to demonstrate. There's nothing to demonstrate that there was an issue with quality, materials, installation, nothing. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Jen Kennelly, if you're still here, I don't know what, and you might not know either, but what's it costing Westport for the closed schools down and mold remediation over there the last couple of years? It must have been a big bill.
Yeah, I don't know. Am I on mute?
No,
we hear you.
Okay, all right. So, I wasn't sure. I had to switch phones. I actually don't know. I knew that they had a massive problem over there, and I think it was impacting middle school and everything else. I don't actually know the price tag, but I'm happy to find that out.
I'm sure it's a nightmare. I don't need to know it. I don't want to go there either, believe me.
No, but we don't need to be closing down schools.
No.
We already have overcrowding in some of them already. We don't need to be closing them down and fussing kids all
merging. Over. Yes, merging. I was working at Bedford when Bedford and Goley Town were under one roof. It was like a river of refugees was the phrase I remember.
Yeah. I mean, the alternative is not as good as just getting a new roof on there. So, any other comments?
Give them a roof. Give them a roof.
All right, we'll take a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Abstentions?
No one wants
I'm sorry.
to be known as
Opposed? No abstentions? All right, that passes 6-0.
Mhm.
Okay, and I guess finally is item number 9, which is the excess revenue appropriations of a total of what, $9.3 million. I'm going to make a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Or us first?
I'll second it. Or I'll second it. Chrissy Kelly.
All right, and somebody has to be first. I'm making the
I'll be first.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Jerome.
Sorry.
That's my fault.
Wait, who's first?
Who cares?
The chicken.
Kelly first, Tallman second. How about that?
Perfect.
Got it.
All right. Do we want to have a further discussion on this item?
Well, I mean, Bill did bring up good points. I don't know what the accounting principles are and all that. I mean, we have to.
I was thinking more about that. Sorry, this is Chrissy Kelly. And while I'm not really sure what the point of that was either, but it is a good question, like if it's an incurred expense or if we know it's an expense. But then the more I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, we have that entire waterfall chart, which is stuff we know we're going to have to spend on, and we don't accrue for that every year. The board, or there was that article that was very public saying that it's going to cost $94 million over the next 5 years to do air conditioning in all the schools. Nobody's asking to put $94 million into a reserve. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I understand, and we should. I feel like I was a little disappointed that Jared didn't have a clearer answer on, yes, we should, or this is why we don't have to. But I think if we start accruing or accounting for all of these, not even hypotheticals, but it's going to cost $94 million to put air conditioning in. Nobody's saying that we're going to have a reserve account set up for that right now. So at first I was kind of like, oh, they have such a good point. And then I was like, wait, there are so many other things then if we have to do that. Yeah. But again, I do want to follow, obviously, the accounting practices. I don't want to not do it.
Right.
If we're supposed to. Then we find $30 million somewhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
I'm wondering, this is Liz. Good points, Christy, but I'm wondering if the cadence and method of financing capital projects that we have in a waterfall, is a very different animal than unexpected remediation expenses that may have a different timeline to them. I don't know. We'll hear what they have to say.
And actually, it's been interesting to have this conversation, but I don't even think that's even part of what we're voting on, right? Because we're not voting on, it shouldn't be $9 million. We should put in $30 million. We're just agreeing,
yeah,
right, on the $9 million. So the rest of this is just fodder for later, but the actual vote is about the $9 million.
Right.
Yeah. Mark, again, 9.3 was 6.3 going into that account for remediation.
And the $3 million
we saved
goes to
that was a save because that wasn't a
1.3 is going into OPEB and 1.7 will go into the fund balance.
Fund balance. Yeah.
Fund balance, right.
And that's the 9.3 in my math.
Yes. That was easy. Like a roof.
All right. we'll put this to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that motion carries. Anything else to discuss? Since we have Jen here, maybe, Jen, do you have anything you might want to, Jen Kennelly, anything you might want to update us on from the Board of Ed side?
I mean, we've been having most of our discussion on the the waterfall, but we're waiting on Board of Finance. I mean, our schedule is really delayed this year in terms of them having their meetings for the capital review, and so we've been talking about that. We are preparing. We are trying to do our budget conversations earlier this year. And this is very new, as in, like, of the last decade, this is new, so that we're trying to have a special budget review meeting in November because we've always said that having our whole budget covered at 4 meetings in January was really tight. Never mind, that's just with the ordinary budget. If you're actually trying to roll out a new initiative on top of that, it's finally just reached the point this year of saying that's not how we want to do this anymore. So we will be having a special meeting in November purely to discuss new budget initiatives, and that's going to be something very new. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. I'm hoping it's really ready to roll out, and it's not just preliminary in nature, but thorough, so that we can really have a discussion. The public can hear this discussion, so that we can give a clear sign of if this is something we're looking to move forward with the January budget. But that's definitely something new and different that'll be coming up, and which we haven't done before, so I'm not quite sure how it's going to look, but worth paying attention to. And then as a second point, and I know this has not come back to you, but I'd reached out to all of you a year ago at this point about the district improvement plan. And I do need to touch base with Mike Cummings again on how that's rolling out in terms of community stakeholders, because I had been keenly interested in tapping into this group to get their feedback and maybe to act as a conduit for getting feedback from the larger RTM. But the education subcommittee, to me, was the logical place to go to reach out to the community. But that's just, hasn't been exactly front and center on what we've been doing lately, but we are increasingly turning our attention to that. So I hope to be getting back to all of you soon with whatever is going to be next with that.
Hey, Jen, this is Pete Tallman. Is that the same thing? I thought I got something maybe from Mark Peterson or Jeff Peterson
regarding
a few months ago. I thought it was the district improvement plan.
I'm actually on that committee. I've been going to those meetings. I missed one of the first 2, but I've been going, and
Well, if I see something, I'll definitely respond. I forget. I thought it was that. Maybe it's some other.
So Jeff is also our liaison to Board of Finance meetings. So I'm not sure if he was reaching out to you as the Republican who's on Board of Ed, or if he was reaching out to you as the liaison to Board of Finance. So I'm not sure in what role he was reaching out to you with. I mean, if it's from Jeff, I always think it's worth paying attention to. But I'm not. I don't think it would have been regarding the district improvement plan unless it was his position as chair of the finance committee, and starting to look at structural changes and things like that. So he wears a couple different hats.
If I see something else from you or from the district improvement plan, I'll certainly throw my 2 cents in.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Jen, this is Mark McDermott. Do we have any expiring contracts coming up this year?
Yes. We are hopefully finishing the paras soon, which has gotten some social media attention in terms of their salaries, because we are truly the bottom of the barrel in terms of pay for that. So that's something that we're taking a look at. But the big one will be the administrator's contract, and so we are reaching a slightly more aggressive point at this in terms of possible arbitration. So we have not yet settled that contract, and that one is imminent for being due because of the deadlines, of course, that are imposed on that by the state. So that one is...
Hang tough, Jen. Hang tough, kid.
We're fighting. So, yeah, we are very much in the midst of those two contracts.
Good.
So have they expired already, or are we ahead of the game?
The two that we never worry about expiring are teachers and administrators, because, again, the state statute forces a timeline on that. So, we're fine for that. The paras are past due. Actually, you know what? I think sorry, I didn't mean to neglect them, but the secretaries are also have expired. So both secretaries and paras are expired, and we are. But that one they both can get dragged out quite a bit because of quite frankly, the schedules of the attorneys of the bargaining units. So we are still working on that, and again, hoping to wrap them up shortly.
Yeah. Do you foresee I'm not going to hold you to it, but a timeline the next couple months or the beginning of the year? What's the thought?
Well,
there?
I always like these things wrapped up, so I am hopeful by end of 2021. Certainly, that is my hope, and I can update you next month if I find out that I was wrong.
Okay.
Jen, it's Liz. I heard recently that the nurses' contract was long overdue, but that doesn't fall under this.
That's correct. The nurses are they're town employees. They're not, although they work in our buildings, they're not Board of Ed employees.
Right.
And I didn't know that. That's interesting to know.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter, you'll be happy to know that I was driving after dropping Kate off, and I see that your lift is going up to the press box, so I'm sure you're excited about that.
Oh, Mark, you had to say that?
I saw it.
Oh, my God.
I saw it.
I said, there's Peter's
let's
lift.
move on to another
The
subject.
Tallman elevator, we'll call it.
Yeah.
I
tell
swear
you
to
what,
God,
I'm going
we
to
should
try
name
it.
it that.
I'm going to show up one day with some crutches and say I need to get up top. Got to go for a spin. Somebody's got to use it.
Yes, I agree.
Oh well.
Well, I need a new hip, so it'll be me.
I'll spot you.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the fields and improvement there. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion going forward, since it's really been I don't know if you guys saw the petition, but there's a heck of a lot of names on there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I think I'm up.
I know, and Jen knows. I mean, for years, I coached 13 years of girls rec soccer, and the fields were always in bad shape, and the grass fields, obviously. And and if it rains Friday, you can't play Saturday. And it's a sin, in my opinion.
Right.
That I forget. Kate told me. Oh, Kate, they went to the swim meet in Greenwich last week, and she said, "Wow, Dad, you should see the fields they have over there."
Well,
said,
yeah.
Yep.
They're not perfect either, Jen, will tell you.
They definitely are not. We've got quite a bit of digging going on as well.
Yeah.
No, but look, all those schools, Wilton, Darien, Detain, and Greenwich, they even start going up north. They have tons of land. And unfortunately, we don't anymore. And what we have is expensive as hell, but what we do have can be switched to, and I know there's some anti-turf people, but it's the difference between playing on a good field or sometimes not playing at all. And I think kids get enough indoor time. But as Mark said, I couldn't believe how poor the field was at the middle school. And the thing is, when you drive by some of these fields in your car, like you drive by Surges, it actually looks pretty good.
Yep.
You get out of your car and walk on the field, you're like, oh. It looks so nice from the road. It's crabgrass and dirt.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of them you look at driving by, you're like, oh, the field looks nice, and then you're actually on it, and you're like, oh, whoa, no, not so much.
And then you go to other schools, and it's not just the
sorry.
Wiltons and Dariens and New Canaans, Norwalk, Stanford, West. They all have multiple turf fields, and they come to. And the reason I was on the the Ludlow Middle School field was because a JV football team was waiting for a game, but the soccer team had a game, and there wasn't enough time, so you have one field.
Right.
You have about 10 teams that want to use it. It's a joke. It's just, in Ridgefield, the kids were waiting in the parking lot for about a half an hour, sitting in the parking lot.
Well, they're not,
doing nothing.
We put down,
Waiting to get on the field.
We just put down new sod on that Roger Ludlow Middle School field, 2 years ago, maybe?
That's after you destroyed it.
But yeah, well, because it gets so much use. A, it's not well maintained. B, it's.
Yeah, we can't use actual fertilizer. Not that would help anyway, because once you have a few days of activity on it, it basically gets trashed. It doesn't recover until the next season, where it lasts another couple of weeks, and the same thing happens again. It's there's nothing you can do about it. You have 100 kids with cleats on running around on the field. It's going to get beat up.
And
so
I just thought the email that Dylan sent was a little, we're going to be watching you and all that. I thought that was a little.
Well, I didn't see that.
I don't want
He's
to say
very aggressive. He's very
aggressive.
I call him the Irish Mafia.
He's a little. He can be a little over the top.
They're aggressive. I will say that.
Did you guys sit through his presentation? Did you guys all see his presentation?
I didn't see the whole thing. No, I saw a fair amount of it though.
Okay. All right. I mean, Liz brought up
they need money.
That would be near and dear to
now.
Girls are swimmers,
put that on the waterfall. Yeah.
I know. See, that's the problem. Here we're going to get hit with this bill for remediation and all the stuff from the fill pile, and here we are looking for millions to turf fields. It's going to be a tough sell, but timing's everything, right?
Fairfield U and Sacred Heart. We can blaze it with stag.
Yeah, they're really. Sacred Heart steps up. Very disappointed in Fairfield U, though.
I agree. We've had our differences, Peter, as you know, but no,
I know. But SHU seems to be a little bit more involved than Fairfield U, that's for sure. Outside of the bookstore, I don't know. They charge the students their swimming pool. Can you throw us a bone, guy?
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean,
can
the
you
girls
throw us a bone?
The girls
you don't
and
pay
boys,
a penny in tax. You got 200 acres of primo real estate.
The girls and boys swim team practice at Fairfield U, and they can barely get pool time. And then if the ward has a swim meet, then the Ludlow girls can't practice, it's a tough situation there. And then obviously Sacred Heart's not building the pool now, right? So that didn't help us out.
I didn't hear
that. Do they not have
a
pool?
Why
I think they're only building the ice rink.
They don't have a pool at Sacred Heart?
No.
No?
No. The Italian club.
They were going to build an Olympic-sized pool, I thought, and the ice rink.
Yeah, I think that got dashed.
Okay.
From what I believe, I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe that got cut.
Ugh, yuck. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you go to these other schools. Staples has a pool. You go
Norwalk
to
has a pool. Norwalk High School has a pool.
Greenwich has a pool. Yeah, they all. I mean, I've been to middle schools that have pools for USA Swim Meet, so in the state. But
what's wrong with our YMCA? Are the pools too small?
The pool is 25 yards. It's horrible. It's a horrible pool.
Well, it's 5 yards, but it's only 6 lanes. You really couldn't have any fans.
Can you practice
fans?
You also can't have diving.
And they don't have diving. You can't practice there because they have their own swim programs and they have their own swim team. And that pool gets heavy use.
Yeah, right. It's overused. It's used, yeah.
And then I guess during the pandemic, the girls practiced last year at the Westport Y, but it was 8:00 at night, which is difficult for That's a hard sell.
It's like ice hockey, right? Ice time at like 10 o'clock on Sunday night. Thanks a lot.
Right.
Oh my God!
I'm coming down to sniffles, Coach. I better stay home.
Yes, my parents did not encourage hockey. No, they're both from Minnesota.
No. Here's basketball. See you in 2 hours.
Yes. Okay, exactly. Oh my God. No.
All right. Well, I think this was a good meeting. Could I get a motion to adjourn? Unless anybody has anything else.
I'll say adjourn.
The Republican men
Peter.
will adjourn. Yeah, first and second.
And Alex second, and we will adjourn at 9:17. Have a great week. I'll see you guys all next Monday night.
Thanks, Mark.
Yes, you will. Thanks, guys.
Take care again.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Take care. Good luck.
Bye.
Be respectful.